What's up guys, this is your boy Rusian with another Raid Shadow Legends Academy video. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be taking a look where your account should be. Today I believe is day 7 of the accounts, right? So now I would just assume you guys follow my advice to start with Karado and get High Shield, Sigmund the High Shield, as your free champion, right? So as of right now, I actually had to make a decision today, and that had to do with what champion to get my second set of masters. So like I told you guys, following the Arbiter missions in a lot of ways has more to do with getting the resources you need, okay, as you guys see. And it's very dependent. A lot of things have to do with luck when it's related to which champions you pull. So right now I am on Ice Golem's Peak, normal hard, 7 or higher. I am actually stuck on 7. I cannot move higher than that with my champions because the only two champions I actually have geared are, drum roll please, and yes, Kyle is, but with a very, very basic gear. Now Corrado, I did got those to 16. I usually wouldn't because in the most being 2 stars and all, but it will be required for some of the missions for the Arbiter. And that's when I actually leveled down to 16. Now sure, it's attack percentage. It's not like some random piece I usually use just to get speed. So it's not a problem to get up to 16. And also I have Sigmund. Now, as you guys notice, Sigmund and Karado are on lifesteal gear. Those 2 pieces in here was just thrown away because I needed speed and I did need some crit rate. Now I didn't have any good pieces to match, and I feel one of the worst things that a lot of times people do is you can't really get decent beer and it's luck of the draw, but you still go all the way to the dungeons and try to get, for example, speed gear, lifesteal gear from Dragon's Lair, when honestly I'm only going to stage 8 or 9. 8 being more reliable, 9 losing a lot. So the chance for me to get this gear very, very low. So I'm not even trying. You do get some of this gear for free by completing missions. So that's what I'm actually holding on to as of right now, right? Until I can get to higher stages, it makes no sense for me to be wasting energy on that. If you guys notice, I'm all the way down to 193 energy. And the reason for that is my focus at the moment is to get my 2 main characters, Corrado and Sigmund, all the way to 6 star, right? So, as you guys see, I've been running, getting some food in here. Those 2 champions, Mugstalker and Twin Claw, actually, they are going to be food, don't take me wrong, but I'm also coming in here and I'm going to be using them to, one of them has real reduction, so I'm going to be throwing him on stage 7 as the Spirit Kip, and the other one has a block debuffs. So pretty much that's what I'm focusing on, and that's what you have to sometimes check on your champions. So the way to do that, if you guys don't have on your main champions any of those abilities, it would be come to filters and you guys come down here on debuffs, and for example, heal reduction, I click on this one, I have those 2 champions, and I click on this one, I have Twin Claw. Okay, as long as you land it, you already complete the mission. Now, like I said, always focus when you go on challenge, focus on dungeons. Champion duels usually will just complete themselves, right? Artifacts, I really don't like to focus too much because I feel a lot of times waste of energy, but If you get to a point you're leveling your characters like I am right now to make food, that's a good time for you guys to run. The problem is it's always normal. So, and in the early stages, you really don't get much XP for the amount of energy you're using. So I take with a grain of salt completing those. When I have enough energy to burn, I usually care about those. Okay. Now, another thing. So I will eventually have to replenish energy to keep playing, right? But if you guys notice down here, I have on my weekly ones the pots. The pots I'm not going to touch, at least for as long as I can. What I am actually holding on to is, let's see again, pots, is those flat energy. So flat energy, it doesn't matter what level you are, you'll get the same amount. Pots, every time you level, you get extras, all the way to 130 energy per pot. So I try to hold on to those. I know it looks like a very negligible amount, but it helps a lot in the end game. Okay, so those are things I'm holding on. When you come in here, Call of Arbiter, that's where I'm gonna be taking a lot of my energy as well before I even touch pots, unless it's in the end of the week, because then you have to collect them all. If you guys notice, only episode 10, the tower, is the one that I actually collected, and it wasn't as much to do with the energy, but to do with the 4-star chicken. Okay, just so you guys keep in mind, everything else, if you guys want to take a look, you have some gems in there as well. But I would say just keep in the back burner. You know, most of you guys are only playing about 2 hours a day. You can really hold on to. So, like I said, I got enough gems by completing missions and some campaign to be able to get the masteries for both of my main champions. Now, anybody can argue about which champions are the best, right? With those two, I was able to come in here and clear normal, hard, and I could start clearing brutal. I am holding up a little bit, and I'm focusing on foods because I can come on hard, and just with Corrado, stage 3, you get more silver and you get more XP, right? Per energy. So coming here, do all my battles with the food champions and just keep leveling as much as I can. Now, the moment I get Corrado to, because he will be my first 6-star, then I'm gonna be jumping on Brutal. And as we go, I will be leveling him. And by the time I get to a point that with 5 stars, I would start to struggle, I will not have that issue. So all the way to Brutal, my plan is to straight 3-star every single stage. Not focus so much on putting foods, only because it's a waste until you get to Brimstone Path, right? The moment I get to Brimstone Path on 3, stage 3, I would just start leveling there. That's the best spot. Brutal 12-3 is the best spot for you guys to be able to level your food champions, okay? You get a lot more per energy. Nightmare doesn't give you as much percentage-wise. Brutal is the best. So, focus on those right now. Like I said, let's take a look on gear really quick. One of the things about gear is I usually, 4-star I may get to 16, but anything below that keep to 12. And it has to do with how much silver you have. Silver gonna go really fast, okay? As of right now, I have 11 million. So if I have to get something to 16, to level 16, it's not such an issue. And on missions, you guys gonna see that this happens a lot. As of right now, I think I'm cleared with those. The only thing, one more in here, upgrade any artifact to level 16. When you find yourself in this situation and you really don't have any good gear, to get 16, but for whatever reason, maybe the potion keeps open and you don't want to have to wait a whole week for it. What I usually do, I just farm a 1-star piece of artifact, right? And level it 16. Usually, it's only going to cost you a few hundred silver. I usually try to do this to speed the artifacts that I usually just use as a fill-in if I don't have something better. And the other thing is, don't sell those pieces, because at some point on the next stage, you will be required to equip a whole champion, usually all the way up to 4 champions with 16, level 16 artifacts. So just save them. Eventually you're gonna need, even if you have to replace. Plus, if you do 1-star, it's not a big deal. It's like 5,000 silver to remove the artifact. All right, so that's what you guys should be focusing. You should be probably around this part, okay? If you're only playing 2 hours a day, if you're playing more, chances are you may be higher. What usually gonna keep you guys stuck are missions like those 5-star, 6-star artifacts. I cannot go above stage 7 right now. Like I told you guys, I'm not using Senna. So it's a little rough. Sometimes you get lucky and just a few runs you get all the requirements, but sometimes not. What I'm really looking at is to be able to get this speed artifact, right? So that's the things you keep focusing on. I know I'm gonna have to run Minotaur. So sometimes if you guys feel you don't have anywhere to go forward with your account, just look in anything you can complete early. Now, not all missions you can complete early, but the ones you can, just run them. It usually helps. The other thing, very important, to focus on your accounts right now. So you should be focusing only on your 2 main champions, right? What means that right now, since it's you have a guaranteed champion, right? Not, well, if you guys are following with me, you do. Anybody else don't have. But unless you have a 2x event, do not open your shards until you have all the champions you already pulled structured at this point. Because as of right now ignore Senna, okay? But I already have a squad. I have one Sigmund that does a lot of protection, provokes and everything. I have Corrado, what is massive damage dealer. I have a poisoner. I have another damage dealer. And I have a protection champion that also raise your attack, right? So I have my 5-man or women squad. Don't have a healer. I would probably sub one of the damage dealers in this case for a healer if I can get a good one. And no War Maiden does not count. Don't take me wrong, she's not bad for early game, but I feel if I keep my champions on life still, they will probably do a better job than having War Maiden all the way to 50 as of now. Another champion to really keep in mind, guys, Armiger. You really need him to be able to control that turn meter. So make him fast, make his crit rate high, and on top of that, make sure he has enough accuracy to be able to take the turn meter down. That helps a lot on Fire Knights, it helps in the potion keeps and everything else, okay? So I already have 6-man squad, really 5-man squad. The 6 usually dependent of what you're running. And the best thing, like that's why I like to call those guys Double Trouble, Corrado and Sigmund, is because they're different affinities. It's not like my free-to-play competition teams that I pretty much only have magic affinity. What's making it very hard to clear some content. Those 2 together, they can probably clear, even at level 50, chances are 3-star all the way to brutal. But not trying that, I feel it's a waste of time. Also takes a really long to do it. I'd rather just get those guys to level 50 right now. So, like I said, right now, guys, just keep on focus on getting as much food leveled as you can. If you're in the competition, I would say do a little bit of faction wars. I'm not so focused on that right now, unless maybe dark elves because it's chaos, or any any other one that has to do with one of my main characters, my main champions. Besides for that, don't focus too much because you will be having to put gear, remove gear, put gear again, and end of the day you're just going to be burning silver. And as much as you may think you're just burning a couple of hundred, later on you're going to realize you need those. So yeah, right now, for example, the other thing too is because I'm not playing as hard as I would. Usually, if I'm playing really hard the game, I would have run out of energy by this point, so I would start burning gems. Um, Now, my next step probably gonna be do something that I actually haven't even done to on my main account. I know, big mistake, but it's probably unlock the mine. So unlock the mines, it's something that you don't see anything coming back to you until the 6 month playing the game. So if you're not sure if you're going to be playing the game for that long, hold on to that. But if you know you will be playing this account, um, go in, unlock the mine. Okay, you start seeing returns later on, and then they become massive returns. Okay, so and also I'm gonna be holding my gems to be able to get another 6-star champion with his or her masteries. Okay, so those are things for you guys to start focusing now. As soon as you get your first 6-star, things gonna start coming very much easier. Okay, so yeah, I think it's pretty much that. You know, I'm not focused on clan boss as much. You guys probably wondering. Yes, you get good rewards, but I don't have a full squad, right? And I'm still holding on getting a little bit of better gear. If I did have better gear, I probably would be putting gear on G-Guard. I would be putting gear on Armiger. But the problem is they use the same type of gear as Sigmund Defense. So holding on to that. Next also would be Alice. So if you guys get to the point that you can gear as you progress and you start being able to gear other champions, just do so and then start jumping more into the clan boss. The other reason why I don't focus too much right now is because some of those missions will require you to use keys. So I usually run when I need to, because since damage is being pretty good. Like I one keyed the 1 million damage, right? Just because Corrado and Sigmund and Kyle. So I usually wait until I see another one that I have to run, because you will have at some point. And then after those, the following days, you just every day run as much as you can, even if you have 2 or 3 key, just to get resource. You may be able to get gems, you may be able to get shards and everything. So focus on that too. The other reason why I'm trying to rush as much as I can in here is because the force keep is going to be closing, I believe, tomorrow. Yes, so I have 1 day and 2 hours to close as many of those missions as I can. And that's really what to keep in mind. After that, Arbiter missions become secondary, okay? So, just so you guys keep in mind. But at the same time, the last mission of this one is Fuse Relic Keeper. Fuse Just Star, sorry. And the good thing is, because you didn't play as hard the game, it becomes easier for you to be able to get the required champions to do the fusion. The problem is the game does not allow, and I tried in all my accounts, it does not allow you to get the last champion for the fusion until the novice tournament is gone, but it drops after day 5, and here we are. We don't have to worry about it. All right, guys. So let me know in the comments any questions you guys have. I probably won't have a video tomorrow, but if you guys ask me any questions, I will be answering them for you. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the game.